Hi Year 11. What we're going to do today is we're going to interpret a histogram that's already been drawn. So you can see here there's a histogram already drawn, but there's a big problem. You'll notice that the frequency density axis isn't complete, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, first of all, you have to remember two things about a histogram. First of all, it's been drawn from a grouped frequency table. So the original data is grouped. And secondly, the area of each bar in a histogram gives you the frequency of that particular group. So it says the histogram below shows the distances achieved by competitors in the javelin event at a community sports day. So what that basically means is that the area of each bar gives you the number of people who threw the javelin between two particular values. So for example, if you take a look at the first bar, that represents the number of people who threw the javelin between 0 and 10 meters. If you take, say, for example, the fourth bar, this bar here represents the number of people who threw the javelin between 65 and 85 meters. Now, the area of each bar then is the number of people in each group. So what we have to do here is work out the total number of competitors who took part in the event. So what that means is we have to get the area of each bar and add them all together. But the problem is, as I said earlier, we don't know what the frequency density is. So because there's no scale on the vertical axis, it's difficult to work out the areas of each of these bars. However, there's some good news. It says, given that 30 competitors threw the javelin between 0 and 10 meters, so what that means is the area of this first bar must be 30. Because we know the area of the first bar and we also know its length, we can work out its breadth. So the length is 10. 10 multiplied by what is going to give you 30? Well, it's got to be 3. So that means the breadth or height of the bar has to be 3. So because these little notches are also evenly spaced, that means the bottom notch here must be 1 there. And then the next one above it must be 2. And then above 3 we've got 4. And then above 4 we've got 5. So we can use the information given about the first bar to help us to complete the vertical frequency density scale. Now we can work out the area of all of the remaining bars. Now, just before we do that, what we're going to do is we're now going to take all the information and work backwards and put it all into a grouped frequency table. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups, and the first group runs from 0 to 10, and the frequency of that group is 30. So I'm going to draw, as I say, a group frequency table with 2 columns. First column is the data column. Remember, the data column is the distance that the javelin is thrown. So distance thrown. That's in meters. So the first group is 0 to 10. Next group is from 10 to 25. Next group runs from 45 to 65. The fourth group runs from 65 to 85. And then the final group runs from 85 to 90. So there's the first column complete, the data column. The second column is a frequency column. In other words, the number of people in each group. And remember, we calculate the frequencies by working out the area of each of the bars. Well, the area of the first bar, that was already provided, that was 30. Or you could do 10 multiplied by 3. The next group, 10 to 25. So again, we'll have to work out the area. So that is 15 squares long, or 15 units long. And then it's 4 little squares high, but remember, if you use the vertical scale, every one square is 0.1, so it's going to be 0.4 in height. So 15 multiplied by 0.4, and that's going to give us 8. Okay, the next group, 45 to 65, so it's 20 long. And then height wise, it goes 3 little squares past 1, so that's 1.3. So its height is 1.3, so 20 multiplied by 1.3. And that's going to give us 26. So there's 26 people in that group. Okay, next group, 65 to 85. So again, 20 long. And then height wise, so the height of that bar, it goes up to 2, and then there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4 squares above it, so that's going to be 2.4. So we're multiplying 20 by 2.4, and that's going to give us 48. And then our final group, 85 to 90, so that's just 5 units long, and then we're multiplying that by the height of it is 2 units, so 5 multiplied by 2, and that's just going to give us 10. So the final thing we're going to do now is we're going to add all the frequencies together to get the total frequency, in other words, the total number of competitors. So sum of f, so that's equal to 30 plus 8 plus 26 plus 48 plus 10 is going to give us 120. So our final answer, there are 120 competitors.